Hello, all of my awesome friends out there. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday and another awesome episode of Attack the Talk, the podcast where we discuss and break down each AOT episode in chronological order. We're currently in season 3, and season 3 is, I feel like, rapidly coming to an end. I say rapidly loosely because we have obviously been discussing season 3 for quite a while now, and we've taken multiple breaks in between, but it's kind of weird where now we're getting to
the real meat and potatoes.
Yeah, like we're closing out this arc and we're getting to some real crucial moments with decision making with these characters and how they're going to go about altering season 4. And I'm excited for us to, of course, go ahead and discuss these crazy moments. But yeah, we're currently season 3, episode 18. We will be starting at 18. And that'll be part 1 of our episode breakdown discussion. That episode's name is Midnight Sun. You guys know the drill. Spoiler warning to all of our friends out there who are not caught up. We've been getting to some serious spoiler territory. And that, of course, isn't going to change in this episode. A lot to speculate, a lot to talk about, a lot of awesome discussion to have in this episode. And we guys know that we're going to be coming down very, very quickly to a decision that we're all going to have to make. A decision that has already been made, but a decision that we love to go ahead and talk about because you can go ahead and argue why one decision is better than the other, or vice versa. Now, I'm excited for us to go ahead and really get into that conversation. But I do want to start again by saying hello, all of you awesome, amazing people out there. Hope that you guys are having a great weekend, and hope that we have a great episode for you guys. I'm your host, AJ. Joining me, of course, is my sister, Lex. We do not have Zach here. Zach is a busy man. Zach is currently working. So, Zach, hopefully you're having a good day at work. And hopefully we get you back over on the pod sooner rather than later, of course. But I want to start off with you, Lex. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing great.
Very awesome.
What did I do?
Yeah, what did you do?
I was doing a lot of volleyball stuff throughout the week.
Okay.
Because we started our conference games this week.
Interesting.
And we played literally the two hardest, like the two best teams in our conference, which are actually going D2. So,
okay.
But we didn't do bad, actually. We didn't do horrible. I mean, we still lost, but we still
but competitive.
put up a fight. Yeah.
It wasn't an ass kicking?
We didn't roll over. Yeah, we still definitely put up a fight.
Very, very good.
And it didn't feel like a bad loss, honestly. It felt like we played
something to build off of.
Some of the best that we did, and we were learning from it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's going to be, like with any sports, I mean, there's going to be little learning curves. There's going to be nice little indicators to find out kind of, and just see where we stand as a team.
Yeah.
To kind of test ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And if you guys are playing against the two best teams.
See how you deal with pressure.
Yeah, if you guys are playing against the two best teams in conference and you guys feel like you guys put up a fight, I mean, that's a good indicator, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys would have loved to have won and played spoiler, but hey, I mean, they're the two best teams for a reason, right?
Yeah, and they are moving out of our division for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Going to Division 2.
Seeing some like past friends that were on, like there's two people. There was one on Vanguard and one on Masters, which are the two hardest teams in our conference. There was one player on each that I knew from Luca's team last year. They used to be on Luca's Long Beach team. Okay. So I was like, oh hey.
Yeah.
So it was
you guys want to take it easy on us?
I know, like the volleyball world is such a small world, especially in like SoCal.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of people that I recognize. Yeah. But overall, I think it was a pretty good learning week.
Okay.
And we, I think we grew as a team. So
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's all you guys can hope for as, in any sort of competitive sport, any competitive league, is to be competitive and to learn off of whatever the outcome is.
Oh, actually, really funny. I just remembered during we were at Masters on Friday, and literally like in the middle of the third set, there's like a timeout or whatever, and I'm just off to the side, like, taking stats, whatever, while the team is in their huddle talking about like how we're going to come back, whatever. The down ref, literally while he's working, he comes up to me and he goes, "It's kind of incredible how such a loud like voice can come from such a little girl." And he was talking about me.
Oh, what do you mean? In terms of hearing you over on the sideline?
He was saying that he was like, "You're just so loud and your voice is so powerful." Yeah. Like, it's so weird seeing that come out of such a little girl. And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a loud person, I guess." But I will say I go back and watch film because I edit and stuff for them. And you can clearly hear me echoing in the gym.
A couple stories to that. I remember, of course, there's a video that you had showed me, of course, of you doing this weird, like, record-breaking thing with the voice or whatever.
Yeah, when I
Now-
went to the Guinness Book of World Records,
Yeah.
like interaction thing,
and
interactive
then
experience.
Your scream echoed in this chamber that it seemed like it was going to capture every bit of your voice.
Yeah.
But from the outside, you know, you can still hear you.
It was so loud. I thought it was going to be soundproof, but literally like random people came up to me and was like, I thought there was a roller coaster or something. And I was like, no, I'm just trying to break the record.
Yeah.
I was only like 10 decibels away.
That's pretty impressive.
So-
And second story I have to that is the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was just telling that ride to literally someone last night. Because we were
being in
talking
that
about
ride.
roller coasters, and my friend Zach, not the Zach you guys know,
Yeah.
gay Zach, he was like, because he was like, oh, girl, trust, like, you'll like roller coasters, because I didn't like roller coasters, but then, like, my cousin forced me, and now I like them. And I was like, no, I made an attempt. And I was like, it wasn't really a roller coaster, but it was the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I was, like, squeezing Dad's leg
Yeah.
so hard, because I didn't know there was a handle, and I
There was
just,
that
like...
little hand railing. that you
Yeah.
can go ahead and just grip onto.
And because it was during COVID, they didn't have the little opening experience and everything.
Yeah.
So they
All the
instead
lines were outside.
they made up for it by adding like 3 more drops.
Yeah, so they
And it was
obviously added
terrifying.
more drops. We
Because
may
it like
have,
move. It's not like just like a drop. Like it like floats around, and it's so
yeah. So they made up for the lack of experience, like you said, with being able to go ahead and see as you walk into the Guardian Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they're just like, hey, we're going to go ahead and make it the time for more drops. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, none of us were aware of that. I remember telling you, I was like, yeah, the ride's so cool. It's going to have
Yeah,
like a couple
you're like
drops.
yeah. There's like 4, maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, they go ahead and they kind of
for
just
every
like
floor.
hype it up a little bit. There's gonna be one drop where it's kind of like oh, you know, whatever. Obviously the top view, be able to go ahead and see the, you know.
Yeah.
But
I also had to close my eyes for that because I'm afraid of heights. So,
but then
but I tried. I really tried.
there were
guys.
some kids over in that group with us. And again, to credit to Lex for her amazing vocal range, because all
Just
you
for being
can hear
loud.
is just Lexi screaming her lungs out.
Yeah, I was screaming
And,
and it's one of those screams where like you kind of wouldn't expect it to come from me.
Yeah.
Like when I tried to break the world record, or especially on Guardians, like it's a very like slasher movie type scream.
Yeah.
So if you guys need a good screamer for your slasher movie,
There you go.
I'm here. Make sure you get a good mic because I will blow them out.
But we all know, I mean, anybody who listens to the podcast, we're all very much aware of your vocal range and how even just voicing a lot of different characters that
Yeah.
we do. I mean, you do an excellent job of
just loud.
voicing characters.
I'm
you know,
just very loud.
you know, of course, our favorite character that any of us, I think we've even agreed to that point with one of the poll questions that we, or not poll, but Q&As that we asked
Yeah.
was favorite character that we
That we
voice.
voice.
And I think it was an overwhelming favorite that Hanji is your voice.
Yeah, and I agree. She's the most similar to my range.
Yeah.
And also I kind of just identify with her. It's really easy for me to like do like
Just jump into that role.
yeah, it's very easy for me because I feel like I identify with her a lot because how of like logical and weird she is.
Yeah.
And I am too logical and weird. So
Yeah. I mean, you know, for me that I've casted you plenty of times in a live action, hypothetical live action as Ymir. Obviously, Ymir would be the one that is
Mm-hmm. And that would
not the
also be
founder,
fun.
but we're talking about Ymir that has a connection and friendship, a strong bond with Krista.
yeah.
And I think that you
And we're
would do
coming
great.
up to a scene that I'm very excited to voice, which is the last time we hear Ymir's voice.
Very cool.
We're coming up to it. Not this episode, not next episode, but we are
Soon.
coming up to it soon.
Yeah.
I'm very excited because then that's the last we hear of Ymir's voice.
And then that's it.
Yeah. She doesn't even
Yeah.
talk.
We get some Ymir references,
Yeah.
but
We get
they're
to
all
see
very
her a
sad.
little bit. But yeah.
They're all very sad. From here on out, anything Ymir related, and of course, we're not talking about the founder, Ymir.
no, we're talking about
We're talking about
Historia's Ymir.
Historia's Ymir. And anything from here on out that is Ymir related is all going to be very, very sad and
Yeah.
in some ways depressing. And for me, I would say depressing for the fact that I've been on record to state plenty of times when my biggest pet peeve is with AOT, and that is Ymir's decision to go ahead and and leave with the Titan traders.
Very bad decision.
But I mean, she felt like she had to do what was needed
But maybe Aaron
for
made
Historia.
it so. Aaron made it so that he wouldn't.
Aaron made it so. That's what it all stems down to, right? It's
Yeah.
just Aaron is in full control, and Aaron is the decision maker here in every single aspect of the story.
That actually transitions into our Q&A question.
Very cool. So we can go ahead and jump into the Q&A because we talked about past Q&As. Let's talk about the present Q&A.
Yeah.
How about that? So again, guys, we're going to have a Q&A to go ahead and talk about. And then we also have a poll question as well, right, Lex?
Yep. And
poll
if any
question.
of you guys are watching, feel free to go ahead and chime in.
Yeah, chime in.
If you didn't vote, go ahead and vote here.
Because I believe actually currently the poll is still ongoing.
Yeah, the poll is actually still
It's active. So the decision,
up.
actually
I think
the
it's still up
results,
for a couple hours.
the results are going to go ahead and change as far as the poll goes. So if you guys
Have you
have
seen
not,
the poll results?
I haven't seen anything.
Okay.
No.
They're interesting.
Okay.
All-
And I'm
that's all I'm
excited for
gonna
us to
say.
talk about it. And again, the poll question is going to go based off of what the episode title was for the last few weeks. The episode title's name is Hero.
Yeah, how that.
So there's a little bit of just segue into that. But I'll let Lexi decide which one she wants to start off with, whether it be the Q&A or the poll question. So go ahead, Lex.
So since we were talking about, Aaron made it so, I'm actually going to start off with the Q&A because
Okay.
we asked you guys, how far back do you think Aaron was in control of the story/timeline? Because we know that he said that. I mean, we know for sure that Aaron said that he made it so for everything to happen in the trajectory of his life, basically, for things to end up how they're supposed to be. But also, when we meet Aaron Kruger, who before they even know parody is a thing, the island parody is a thing.
Before Marley even, I say Marley, before Aaron, not Aaron, before Grisha, I'm sorry, even has anything to do with Carla and his new family. That
Yeah,
he's gonna
nothing at all. He's still in Marley.
Marco, what's up, bud?
Hi, Marco.
How you doing, Marco? Hopefully you're having a good weekend. We miss you, and yeah, if you haven't voted in the poll, go ahead and vote. Or if you go when we get
And we're
to it,
talking about the Q&A right now.
let us know however you want to vote. And as far as the Q&A goes, as soon as we say the Q&A question, if Marco has not responded, then Marco, we would love to go and get your reaction, your response to it.
Yeah.
Marco is very, very knowledgeable in anime in general.
Okay.
Also very, very creative too as well,
Yeah.
and talented. So we're glad to have you here live with us, Marco. Again, hopefully everything is all well. But so as we were saying with Aaron Kruger, is that Aaron Kruger is a character that essentially just changes the whole aspect of and the dynamic of the
whole
story,
thing changes.
right? Once we get to that story and we go back to Grisha's kind of backstory and origin as to why he became the Attack Titan.
Yeah. And
That's
why
because
he's
Aaron
giving it
Kruger-
to Grisha and everything.
Aaron Kruger's the one that gave it to Grisha after, we'll get to the story, of course, because Aaron Kruger was able to be very, very helpful for Grisha. But to Lexi's point, Aaron Kruger says a certain line that's very, very interesting and has a lot of AOT fans watching that scene for the first time in a spiral. And that is essentially... don't know the line verbatim at the moment, but essentially for the names Mikasa and Armin to live.
He basically says something along the lines like, you have to save Mikasa and Armin. And then, who is that?
Grisha's
He's
like,
I don't know.
Yeah, they're not from my
They're
memories.
not from my memories.
Yeah.
So that's what led us to the question, like how far back, we did mention this a little bit in our last episode. We were thinking like, how far back was he in control? And we have Marco's poll
so we got
question.
Marco's poll question, which is great.
Or poll answer.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and see what you guys think for how far back Aaron was in control of the story/timeline.
Yeah.
And I also have, I think I have a DM to read as an answer too.
Oh, perfect.
So first we have from friend of the show, Eddie, Eddie Winston on Instagram.
All right, Eddie.
Eddie says, "Ugh, man, I'd say when Grisha was born." Okay.
Wow.
So
we're
at
going that
Grisha's
far
birth.
back, huh?
Okay.
So
I can see that happening.
Okay.
Because the Attack Titan kind of does share a lot of memories, so maybe. But no, because then he wasn't the Attack Titan when he was born.
No, he wasn't. So,
okay.
But that's a very wow. If even that is true, Aaron's really putting in some serious work.
Yeah.
To make sure that he gets those roots really like just in there,
So what
connected.
you're saying is that Aaron made it so that Grisha's sister got eaten by dogs? Is that what you're
Wow.
saying, Eddie?
Wow. Wow.
He's like, you know what? Let's just throw
Hey,
that in
everybody needs an origin story.
there. I
you
know. Let's just throw that in there.
Yeah.
But thank you for that, Eddie. Next we have from friend of the show, Bobby7.
Oh yeah. What's Bobby got to say?
Ooh, excuse me. Bobby says, since Ymir made it time the paths originally. Wait, since Ymir made it time the paths originally, and parody became a large kennel.
Maybe instead of made it, maybe just take that word it out and then put made the paths. Since Ymir made the paths.
Yeah, since Ymir made the paths originally, then parody became a large kennel. So I guess Bob, I want to say, Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say that he's basically insinuating that it's more of Ymir's making it so, Ymir's paths. And so when Ymir made the paths, I think that included parody, which includes Aaron. I think that's
so.
What Bobby's trying to say.
Is Bobby thinking outside the box a little bit and saying that we give Aaron too much credit, and perhaps the founder Ymir is the one who has made it so?
Yeah, because we don't even know like when. I mean, I guess we could infer, but like when the paths became a thing.
Well, the paths, I think it's really became a thing once the Titans all became a whole aspect of the picture. Because the thing is that the Titans were created based off of the founder Ymir, right? And from then on, we understand that she's the one who created these different Titan abilities. She was, I guess, somewhat responsible for, I don't know how responsible she is, but I mean, I guess to Bobby's point, she is the one who was maybe initially granted random people these Titan warrior abilities.
Yeah.
Now, however they used it or what they used it for, that's up to them. But I mean, to Bobby's point, maybe he is onto something, that Ymir is the one who essentially started this whole Titan march by building, creating, sculpting these Titans, and through the reality of, where people are still alive. Yeah, the reality of where people are alive. Random people were again granted these powers. They were obviously given 13 years because to that pretty much Ymir, she lived to be 13, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what it is? Is that what's true? I can't remember exactly, but I think that's because that was her lifespan. That's the lifespan of Titans.
Yeah.
Maybe it's I'd have to go ahead and actually fact check that. And Marco, if you can help me on that, I would appreciate that too as well. But like I said, we know that you guys are very, very smart out there. So if you guys obviously know and you guys are gonna help us out in chat, please do so. But so the Titans got 13 years, and then obviously they go ahead and they pass it on, or they can pass it on before their deaths and whatnot. But damn, that's an interesting theory for sure, Bobby. For sure. And I think obviously Ymir is very heavily involved, which is why we see her at the very end. Yeah. We see her throughout the entire whole aspect of the story once things start getting really, really good.
His head the whole time.
Yeah, and Ymir, she did all these things because of what? Love.
Yeah, because of love.
Dumb love, and loyalty. She's very, very loyal.
That's true.
Misguided and manipulated, and she probably obviously cared about her daughters, which is obviously the name of the three walls. Yeah. And so there's a lot to that. There's that one is that's a big response from Bobby when you really go ahead and we start thinking about. Yeah. And that's if we're getting Bobby's response correct.
Let us know, Bobby. Let us know. He's like, sure.
Probably Bobby's like, it's not what I had in mind, but I like where you guys are going with it.
But I like that.
But I do like the idea of thinking outside the box. Here. I love it when you guys go out there and really think outside the box with the question we ask you guys. Yeah. So very, very cool. And thank you so much, Bobby, for the response. And so yeah, what else do we got?
Next we have from another friend of the show, Portraits by KA, also known as Kyron. Kyron says, probably after he got injected by his dad. So Kyron's thinking more of just, okay, so for Aaron's life, once he gets the Attack Titan is when he can control.
Yeah. Which is a very logical, thought process.
Because I guess how that ties into the whole Aaron Kruger thing, I guess it could be of just like, can you really rewrite? Can you really change the past? I don't know.
Perhaps it's something where, and then this could be very, very. That's such a difficult question, isn't it? Mm-hmm. To go ahead and think about. When exactly Aaron had the abilities and the power to go ahead and manipulate the past. Yeah. Because again, we even understand, and I already gave the spoiler warning to our friends, but we're talking about a moment where we find out literally as the story gets to a close that Aaron is the one who had that Dinah Titan, right?
Yeah, had Dinah.
Walk right past Bertold straight to...
Yeah, to his mom.
To his mom. And that was obviously orchestrated for the fact of how the story needed to go going forward. We understand Aaron also had mentioned, right, in his goodbye messages to his friends that this was the only way that this could happen because There was no other way.
Played it out in every other way.
Any other way. I mean, this is essentially like the Doctor Strange complex, where Doctor Strange is able to go ahead and go through different realities and try to establish and create the one that would best protect everybody involved. And if that meant 80% of the population to go ahead and be perished, like, I don't even want to think about what the other scenarios, the other realities all involved,
just
right?
like all of humanity is dead.
But yeah, I mean, wow. So from a logical mindset, I mean, I guess Kyron is saying that the moment that he was able to go ahead and really,
once he got the Attack Titan is when he could control Attack Titan. I guess because they all share memories, but again, don't know the specifics of how that works. We would need to ask Isayama that.
And the question also, like, we should ask as far as Grisha with these Titans sharing a memory, past, present, and
future too.
Future, like, Grisha wasn't able to see the entire vision initially. So obviously Grisha's getting manipulated, but it wasn't until the moment where he sees Zeke again, right? When Zeke's kind of having a quick little trip down memory lane with Eren.
Yeah.
And we're back at the underground chapel. And that's when Grisha's the one who tells Zeke from here on out, Eren's going to get everything he wants.
Yeah.
And that's from when Grisha's able to go ahead and kind of see the vision. Now, is that because of the attack, or is that because of the Founding Titan? Because let's not forget, Grisha took the Founding Titan for Eren, right? Now, I don't think Grisha was able to go ahead and have that insight of Eren's going to have everything he wants from here on out, right? I don't think he had that before he got the Founding Titan.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's also an element as to this. The moment Eren was able to go ahead and manipulate and create and write his own story, maybe it's the moment that he got the Founding Titan.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah. I can see where Kyron's going.
Maybe. And also, Josh, what is up? Josh, you are not late, my friend. You were here. Anytime you guys join us live and stream, it is on time.
You're the next response.
Perfect. So we'll get to Josh's response very, very quickly. But just to kind of put a button to my little theory here, it's maybe Eren wasn't able to fully tap into the powers of the Attack Titan, being able to go and change the course of everything until he got Ymir's blessing.
Yeah.
Maybe from that moment in the path is when he became so powerful that he was able to rewrite kind of a weird thing. And that's kind of a paradox because he wouldn't be able to get to that point, right?
But also, how do memories
Well, that's the thing.
work?
It's like in some way, everything plays out.
And
everything plays out, right? Live and at the moment, right? And so it's like, it's such a weird little paradox thing where I'm trying to think of the moment when Eren becomes so powerful, and that's when Ymir is there to go ahead and essentially give him full like reign of abilities of being the founder. Yeah. Right? I don't know. My mind's spiraling. But what does Josh say? Let's find out.
So thank you for that, Kyron. Next we have thank you so much. From Josh, who, it is very complicated. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Also known as Hater Xenon on Instagram. Yep. Says, he never was really in control. He's just more so at the mercy of what's bound to happen. Okay, you know what? That's very good. That's
essentially being the prisoner of your own, like, power, kind of, you know? Because the thing with him is that we understand the power really took a toll on him because of where he is with Armin at the end, right? When they're kind of, again, they're reflecting and Eren is explaining to Armin why he did what he had to do. Mm-hmm. That's because of essentially his power, because of, you know, what was going to happen if he didn't do anything. Now, we understand that the Titans, right? They're there because of what? I mean, I think the reason why Titans were even created to begin with was, and this is a whole other weird, I don't know why I'm getting into this, but let's just say for the sake of just this moment here, Titans were created to go ahead and essentially kind of build some kind of weird balance. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously they're there to go ahead and take out humans. Yeah. Right? But it's a weird kind of balancing thing of trying to balance the power dynamic, maybe. But I think because the power was so overwhelming that there was nothing Eren could do to even stop, for the sake of better terms, genocide, extinction. Yeah. Right? So in Eren's mind, the only thing he cares about is his friends, his family. Yeah. Right? And so I think,
like, how do they come out the hero? How do they come out?
everything
successful.
Yeah, that's a great point too. And everything becomes much more complicated once other enemies get involved as well too. So there's so much,
because now it's not as simple as, again, in the first season we talk about how it's not as it seems so simple as man versus Titan.
yeah,
And then
it's not.
and then there are man who is Titan.
Yeah.
And then, okay, do we use these Titans to fight Titans? And then you realize we're all Titans are people.
Yeah.
And then so where
The
do you
story just gets much more
way
complicated the more we watch.
And yeah, Marco, past, present, and future, it was all the same to Eren. It's kind of like simultaneous, I feel like, for him.
Yeah. Josh also says he elaborated further in the DMs.
Oh, perfect.
I'd love to go ahead and get to that. But yeah, so Josh, in trying to go ahead and kind of decipher your response to our Q&A, and again, we will have you elaborate, but maybe, again, Eren is just unfortunately a victim of everybody in the past.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows?
Oh, yes. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
He continues saying in our DMs by saying he's living in the past, present, and future all at once. Agreeing with Marco. Wow. All at once at the very end, and only is able to do small things like change the direction of Dinah's course. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too confident in my answer because at the same time, the Founding Titan is all about being in the past, whilst the Attack Titan is all about the future. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us know. It's okay. But you give a very great analysis.
Yeah,
Thank
love
you.
it. And obviously,
that's really good.
Marco and Josh were able to tap into the same kind of wavelength there.
I know.
And which was very, very cool to see. But like Josh even says here over in chat that it is very, very complicated. Yeah, and we understand this question. I mean, we weren't going to get a definitive answer. We just love to go ahead and, as we say in all of our episodes, we love your guys' insight. We love your guys' responses, and we love to go ahead and kind of gather our thoughts together and really kind of brainstorm together as to like even rationalize such huge questions like how far was Eren able to go ahead and really have full control, you know, and it's really cool to go ahead and have, we've had, you know, some responses thinking outside the box. We've had, you know, some responses of thinking more logically. And then, yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it, guys. We have any more, Lex?
Yes, we do.
Let's
so
continue.
thank you for that. Thank you for that, Josh. That was great. Next we have from the show I Am Storm on Instagram, also known as Heise on Twitch,
Jacob.
also known as Jacob. Jacob says from season 1, because in the finale he says he sent the Titan to his mom. Okay, so yeah, I feel like a big I feel like anchor to help us try to figure out how far back it goes is sending Dinah to his mom.
Is that unfortunate?
Which is when he's very young, before he gets the Attack Titan abilities.
Yeah.
So, and before the Founding Titan abilities.
Perhaps that's why he woke up and kind of later in the first episode with like tears, and we even see the moment of
dreamt of everything that happened.
Maybe that is like literally the moment that we get our first episode is the moment when Eren fully is creating things.
Probably what it is, because the first episode is from you 1,000 years ago or whatever. Yeah, I think, and then the final episode's called To You. So it's like, here's the entire story to this child napping under a tree. So I mean, I don't know if that's defined as control, but he definitely knew. Yeah, but he didn't. No,
it wasn't a weird conscious effort. It was more like, it was more just like that was a weird forced dream upon him to go ahead and have these weird visions,
glimpses of things happening.
And obviously, we don't know the range of these Titan powers and what they do to a body and all that. You know, we understand some of them are causing significant wear and tear, like we see with Udi, right? But I think that with Eren having those strange visions, and the fact that they play out, and the fact that we get little kind of like weird hints and stuff of like important factors going forward of just subliminal things.
Yeah, a lot of foreshadowing moments.
Like that could very much just be the moment where like, damn, Eren, whether he wanted to or not. And this also kind of goes into, I believe it was, whose response was it? Was it Bobby's? About
Bobby talked about Ymir.
Ymir. Might have been Chiron's. I can't remember exactly, but the fact that Eren was never really in control, maybe it was kind of like that whole aspect of like Eren's powers were so strong that he never really had a say in how things were going to go ahead and play out. He just kind of had to go ahead and be a victim of staying on this course.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. It's a loaded question.
Yeah.
That's cannot be answered in a simple Instagram response, but you guys can definitely help us.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Jacob. Next we have Instagram user by the name of Your Loser Was Taken.
Great.
Says to the first Attack Titan. So they think that Eren will control
We're going
the very, very first Attack Titan.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of responsibility. It's a lot. But I feel like if he was in control from the first Attack Titan...
Who even is the first Attack Titan?
I don't know how far back... Because how far back before Kruger is the first attack? I don't know.
Yeah, we know there's plenty of Titans that we see over in that last little array of Warhammer Titans that...
I wonder if I can look it up.
When I say Warhammer Titans, I guess I mean like Eren using his Warhammer abilities to bring back all those other Titans. Josh says the Attack Titan is a part of Ymir's mental. And Marco says, yeah, there have been a lot. Yeah, so as far as the first Attack Titan, don't know, but it's kind of a, it goes along with what even Bobby was saying, how I was kind of and deciphering that response was Ymir is the one, she's orchestrating all this because she's the one who created the Titans to become a part of the world, sculpting them, and she is the one who chose randomly people to go ahead and acquire these abilities. So I mean, who knows who she chose to be that first Attack Titan? Yeah,
because the only ones that are listed here are just Eren. It's just Eren Yeager, Eren Kruger, and Grisha Yeager, and then the ability.
And it goes too far back.
Inherits memories of the future along with the past.
Yeah, because to our knowledge, I mean, her daughters never become Titans, right? They just symbolize the walls that we have, whether it be, obviously Maria, Cena, and Rose. Mm-hmm. Wow. And Josh, well, Marco says there have been a lot of, he just says, look at the paths tree. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Josh says just meaning part of her sought freedom. Right. And his response to it's a part of Ymir's mental. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
which makes sense.
And obviously Ymir, she's a victim. I mean, she's stuck in her own prison here. Yeah. Right? So that kind of we could think of
lonely.
Of just a similarity there, right? As a weird correlation to Eren being stuck in his own prison, right? Whether that just be, I don't know. Again, it's hard to definitively, I said that word very wrong, but it's hard to really come to a real answer. Yeah.
There's not really a definitive answer.
Yeah. What was I trying to say though?
Definitively. I thought you said it fine.
Yeah. I feel like I said it so quick that I gave it an extra V.
Yeah. Josh also says her daughters inherit the Titan power. So one of her daughters or granddaughter became the Attack.
Interesting.
So
wow.
since the first, whether it was Ymir's daughter or granddaughter.
Yeah. And that's because
there's 9 Titans.
They consumed her body, right?
Yeah.
Which is a very strange thing for the father to go ahead and order.
That's a really weird backstory. Very medieval.
Yeah.
But yeah. But thank you for that. Your loser was taken.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have a response from Shiny Laurantis, friend Lo.
All right, Lo.
Lo says the first Attack Titan because we know the owl was influenced by Eren. Okay, so Lo is in agreement that it's from the first Attack Titan.
Okay.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
But in agreement. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, again, all the effort that Eren put to go ahead and just kind of rewrite history and try to really protect his friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
But thank you for all your guys' responses. Geez, I don't even...
Do we have any more in the DMs you said, or no?
No, not for the Q&A.
Okay.
But we do have one for the poll.
Wow, that was a loaded question, but I want to thank you all again for everybody that took a shot in trying to explain it to us, because of course we didn't have any ideas.
We don't know what the right answer, we don't know what the wrong answer is.
Yeah.
So,
but we appreciate you guys' efforts, and yeah, all right, very
thank
cool
you for that, guys.
Let's go ahead and let's jump into the poll question.
So the poll question, which I think the responses are very interesting in how it all laid out, but this is in reference to last episode. we asked you guys who is more of a hero, and the last episode that we reviewed was called Hero.
Yeah.
And the options are Irvin Smith, Armin Arlett, Levi Ackerman, and Aaron Yeager.
Okay.
And I feel like this all comes down to how you, as a voter, define the word hero.
Yes.
So if you guys want to explain your answer in chat, please feel free to. I would love to hear that. So
We know Marcos.
yeah,
said Levi.
Marco said Levi, and if he wants to say why, we would love to hear. So I'm gonna say these are all they're all so close.
Really?
They're all so close.
Okay. And obviously, you can go ahead and make an argument for any of these 4 characters because they all have heroic qualities. But I think the question really comes down to who, in your opinion, really, if you were to choose one character in this story, maybe to go ahead and define hero, who's going to be the example?
Yeah.
Right. And again, you can't go wrong with any of these characters. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you can go ahead and add characters to the list as well. You know, I'm sure Hanji can go ahead and be
like what Marco says. Every scout has been a hero.
Yeah,
Marco thinks it's been every scout,
know?
which I agree.
So I mean,
But Josh says sneaking in Aaron is crazy. That man is evil.
yeah. I think it really comes down to how you
Again, how you define.
How you also perceive, you know. Yeah, we talk about the whole perspective element
Aaron
of it.
Evil, but you could also be like, oh, he did what he had to do.
Well, you know, our friend Jacob. Jacob, you know, he's a Jaegerist at heart, and he sees Aaron as. I would be surprised if he did not vote for Aaron.
Yeah.
We love Jacob for that. But yeah, again, this is all about your guys' kind of view on what you define a hero to be.
And who
obviously
matches that the most?
These characters went about the story doing things a very certain way. They're all very different. The only ones I would say are somewhat similar is Irvin and Armin, which is why we're going to get to a decision in the coming weeks, which is very, very important. It's a big topic of conversation. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see where the votes.
Yeah, I'm
what the
excited
results
to
are.
see your reaction.
Okay.
Josh says that he voted best boy. I'm going to assume that's Armin. But okay, starting from least voted to highest voted.
Okay.
Again, they're all so close. So
Okay. Can I guess who least voted is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to guess least voted is Aaron.
You're wrong.
Oh.
Wrong.
Wow.
The least voted.
You got a lot of Jaegerists out there. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Irvin Smith.
Irvin Smith, the least voted?
At least voted at 21%.
Wow, 20%. And again, guys, these results are pending. This poll is active right now.
True.
So if you guys are watching live, go to Instagram.
It's still active for another 4 hours.
You guys can go ahead and sway the votes. Wow, interesting. Marco, he kind of has an explanation to his reasoning, or a reasoning to his
reasoning to his vote. Levi pushed through the longest.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. Irvin was a little selfish.
So yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because he wanted to avenge his father, basically. Which, I mean, again, that's.
I think the reason why
define hero.
with Irvin and being deemed as like a hero is because he is the example as a scout. He is the scout commander, right? We understand with him and his story that he is, he has selfish motivation, but it's kind of like to go ahead and clear his father's name, so to speak. It's because he understands his father was onto the truth and that the world is corrupt. Whether he was aware of how corrupt the world is, at least with their world of parody.
Yeah.
But
their world.
I think with Irvin is that once he kind of realized that the scouts are in this together.
Yeah.
Right? Because he said he understood that while he was selfishly trying to pursue his own dream, that, everybody else was looking out for others. And then from that moment, he switched. And now he's looking out for his allies. And then that's why he became the squad leader that every single scout expedition, his entire squad came back alive.
Yeah.
Which is why he became the scout commander.
People and willing to be loyal to him.
Yeah.
Like, obviously what he's doing is right. So.
And he became this glaring just example of what a scout is, right? What a scout needs to be and how to go about.
The quote future in this episode in the future, probably next week, he is a beacon of hope.
There we go.
And Marco actually says, Irvin costs he cost lives for his goal and for his curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was also to further humanity in Irvin's eyes too. So I don't know. But yeah, he is least voted with 21%.
Okay. Wow.
And next with 23% is Armin Arlet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Armin.
I know. These votes did not fall how I thought they would.
That's so crazy.
I know.
Okay.
Because last episode called Hero was in reference to Armin, saying that Armin is a hero.
Yeah, the bravest of us all.
And that's not to say that he's not a hero. It's just who is the most heroic, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very surprised
very surprising
that he's a third.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so next with 27% of votes is Aaron Yeager, which means the top vote getter with 29%
so close.
is Levi Ackerman.
Damn. Wow, that is so close. And obviously the results can change, of course, because I understand this is an active
you can see how
poll.
close these all were.
Wow. Yeah. Josh says, I cannot believe Aaron is over Armin.
I can't either.
Wow.
I mean, I guess again, it's how you view how you define it.
You can rationalize that by saying that Aaron is the one who, at least towards the end, he's the one who painted the picture to have the perception be that Armin is the hero.
Yeah.
You are going to be the one to go ahead. You're going to be the one that kills me, that ends me, and you're going to become a hero.
Yeah, he
and all
bore that burden
stuff.
of having to see, like being in the pads, having to see all of past, present, future all at once.
Yeah, Josh said Billions Dead isn't a heroic act in my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that's why I was on record here. You guys heard it. I was on record saying that I thought Aaron was going to be the least vote getter.
I agree. I thought he was going to be the least vote getter.
Wow.
And I thought Armin was going to be the top vote getter.
For me, if I were to go ahead and guess, I would say that it would be Aaron, then third would be Commander Irvin, then Levi and Armin, right?
That's how I agree. That's how I would have set it up in my tier list. But this isn't our tier list.
This isn't, no.
This is Attack the Talks tier list. So all of you guys.
We are a podcast of the people.
Yeah, of the people.
And the people have spoken. And they are Jaegerists. Okay.
Yeah.
They're not Jaegers. They're not the top vote getter. They are
Levi Ackerman.
They're Levi squad
most
members.
Heroic, which I think he's the most skilled. I think he is the most heroic in terms of action.
Let's face it. Levi has done some shit that would break anybody.
Yeah.
He has lost so much. Not to say that nobody has lost. Like, well, I should say that, that everybody has lost something in some element. And thank you for the kind words, Josh.
Yeah, thank you for that. Very.
But damn it, Levi has lost everything. Everyone, anybody close to him, right?
Including his horse.
Including his horse. Up until the end. Now, he's living a life still that I would imagine is difficult for him to live because he's very, for lack of better terms, handicapped now.
Yeah. I mean,
I still wouldn't want to piss him off.
Yeah. He still could probably do some damage.
We saw what he was doing, with his limited, I guess.
Yeah, when he could only use his ring and pinky finger, and when he only had one eye, and he still was a badass.
Yeah,
so.
He still got shit done.
Yeah, Marco says his underground family. Yeah, even just having to grow up around what he grew up in, and still come out so like triumphant, and it definitely toughened him up. Not anyone could definitely. It's very rare for someone to come out very strong and able and willing.
It begs the question. It begs the question: has any character lost more than Levi?
I don't think so. I think,
potentially a question we can ask our fellow AOT community, because that's an interesting. It's an interesting, thought. Because we understand Levi is a character that has lost his squad. He's lost, like I said, his horse.
Yeah.
He's had to literally murder allies.
Yeah.
In Titan forms.
Yeah. That's tough too. I don't think anyone has lost more than.
Some could say maybe his closest ally in Irvin. Right? And he was the one who makes the decision. Right? And like Josh says, yeah, his husband Zeke.
Yeah, his husband Zeke. He lost Hanji. He lost.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost so much.
He's lost almost all of his Levi squad.
Yeah.
Like almost every Levi squad.
Yeah. Now, again, his second Levi squad, they were able to go ahead and most of them survive.
Most.
But again, that's because Aaron was really...
But also because they had Titan abilities.
Yeah. And at that point, too, Aaron was also the one trying to protect them as well.
Yeah.
You know?
True. It was like, these are my besties, so...
Josh says, curse to live. For real, yeah.
Yeah, really.
So... Yeah, there's so much that Levi's had to endure and had to go ahead and overcome and just try to, you know, just persevere through. And I can understand why Levi is a top vote getter, which is why I thought he would be second to only Armin. Because Armin also, you know, has the qualities of trying to do whatever he can to go ahead and prevent bloodshed, to try to go ahead and protect those that he, you know, loves and that are close to him. Even just humanity in general. Not, you know, he's trying to protect the ones that, you know, he doesn't even necessarily love. But he's also willing to go ahead and lay down his life, which is what we saw in the last week's episode. But yeah, Levi is a badass, and I'm not going to go ahead and be upset at if we're looking at a hero and we're talking about who is the most heroic, and Levi is the picture that we see. I'm not going to be upset at it.
Yeah, then be like,
okay, like, you know what, Levi is a hero.
He is the one that has taken all of these losses and all these burdens and has come out stronger. So
yeah,
he's definitely the most resilient.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, these votes are crazy.
You said we had some explanations over in the...
Oh, all we had was one comment from Jacob, who says, just like how you predicted in all caps, Aaron clears. So clearly he voted for Aaron.
Very cool. Wow.
Other than that, that's all that we got in the DMs.
All right. Very cool. We didn't get anything from Kyron? Because when I saw
Oh, yeah, we did. Okay. Kyron said, Aaron did the same thing Sasuke tried to do, but succeeded. Unfortunately, me and AJ have not seen
Zach would be perfect.
Zach would have been able to explain this.
Yes.
But,
damn. Sorry, Kyron.
He's not here. Sorry, Kyron.
I know your disappointment is... Oh, Kyron's here. No, we're going to get shamed.
Kyron is here.
What's
Sorry,
up,
Kyron. I've only seen like the first 2 seasons. So.
Josh, can you explain the reference here? What is Kyron referencing? As to
Aaron did the same thing Sasuke tried to do, but succeeded.
Wow. Kyron, who'd you vote for? Damn. Okay. Interesting. And welcome, Kyron. Welcome to the podcast. We love whenever Kyron is here with us. Kyron, of course, as we stated before past episodes, has really taken it upon himself to help us out in a way which we're so grateful for. He's our social media, or I should say TikTok manager.
Yeah.
We understand TikTok has gone quiet a bit, but we're just happy that you're doing well and that you're here with us. And
I see you going off in your portraits, man. Your photographs have been coming out really good.
And Kyron says he voted for Aaron, believe it or not. Wow.
I am surprised by that.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you care to elaborate?
A little harsh. Yeah, how did you define the word hero?
Yeah.
To match that with Aaron.
Very, very interesting. Josh says, I'm unsure because he's had many motives throughout the show, but his main goal was to avenge his brother and destroy the main village. Okay, so maybe it's just based off of vengeance and I don't know. But very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. All right, so what do you think, Lex? You think we should go ahead and jump into the story?
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay. So before we do that, guys, we'll go ahead and we'll do a very, very brief recap, of course. But again, this is episode 18 of season 3. This is Midnight Sun. This will be part 1 of our episode breakdown and discussion. So just in kind of recapping, the Colossal Titan was finally defeated, and it was took a lot.
Yeah.
To go ahead and get the job done.
It sure did.
As we talked about, Armin, he was able to go ahead and form a plan. That's because he saw that the longer the Colossal Titan was active and the longer it was just using its ability, that it was starting to kind of lose its frame, lose muscle mass and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And that was because of it emitting so much heat and steam and all that.
Yeah.
So Armin decided, you know what? Hey, He tells his friends, leave the Colossal to me and Aaron.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead and distract
You guys
Rhina.
go. You have a plan for Rhina. Go and get that done.
Yeah.
Which,
And
yeah, they did.
They did, with the help of Hanji, who returns to us.
He
And we're so
is
glad to see
here.
Hanji. Hanji is back. And as we continue with this episode, you guys will see that Hanji, she just means business now at this point. And I'm excited for us to go ahead and talk about that. Damn it, the Colossal Titan was defeated because of Armin just putting his body on the line. Armin is now burnt toast. Aaron was able to go ahead and
toast.
remove Bertold from his colossal body, and yeah,
Poor guy.
a lot happened.
Chiron
explains?
explains his response
Okay.
by saying Aaron noticed one solution to the never-ending cycle and took it upon himself to shoulder everyone's hatred and become the monster versus the world.
Damn.
Yeah. You know
That
what?
is heavy.
When you put it that way,
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense.
And we see how him shouldering everything, how it took a toll on him, because
Oh my gosh, yeah.
he's
Like, his
literally,
eyes,
like, in-
he looks like a totally different character.
like the moments I think of is when his conversation with Armin, but also his conversation with that kid.
yeah.
He literally is so apologetic, and he's just in this absolute crazy, just like emotional state where he's in tears, and he's apologizing. Josh says that Midnight Sun is probably my favorite episode of the entire series. It's just so tense. It's just so tension filled and peak drama. Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I did very much enjoy watching. I did watch a couple of live reactions to the episode.
Okay.
Or a couple of reactions to it of people who had never seen it before, and it's always so interesting seeing people. I mean, again, we're not getting to this specific part yet, but it's always so interesting seeing people get to that deliberation part.
Kyron continues saying, still a genocidal maniac, but he did what he had to do to ensure that it will never happen again.
But
Damn,
unfortunately,
you're bringing up some good points.
it does.
Unfortunately, it does. Josh, Midnight Sun, I believe that is the episode where we, as the Titan, or the Titans, as the scouts embark on their mission back to Shiganshina, as the episode ends, we get our post-credit scene that is very, very terrifying.
Yeah.
We get a glimpse of just an array of different stills, and after that is the moment where Levi is having a little skirmish with Aaron and Mikasa.
Yeah.
That is Midnight Sun, right?
Midnight Sun is this episode, I thought.
Yeah, but we're just
But
focusing on part one,
Midnight
right?
Sun oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're not going
Because
to.
that's the part where.
Yeah, but I believe that's the
Because
episode.
again, the foreshadowing is always just so crazy.
Yeah, and
the fact that
that's-
we got a little glimpse at this episode, like at the end of the
before
first
they
half.
even got to the Battle of Shiganshina.
Yeah, before that even happened.
Yeah, it goes to show
Evil man.
how good of an episode this is. And I hope, again, guys, I hope that we do these episodes justice by our breakdowns and our analysis, and also our retelling of it, because you guys understand that we want to go ahead and try to bring these characters to life again, and
Of course.
and
Get you guys to envision and relive those beautifully written and also so sad and emotional episodes.
Yeah.
Those scenes, try to envision them again.
we'll do the best we can to go ahead and bring these characters back to life. Some of them are still
Yeah,
alive, but-
some of them unfortunately are not, but
Yeah. So, again, guys, this is episode 18 of season 3, Midnight Sun. This is part 1. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. So whenever you're
Yeah.
ready, Lex.
I am ready.
Okay. Go ahead.
We begin this episode with Aaron as he stands beside Armin's burnt body on a rooftop in Shiganshina. Aaron's demeanor is very much at a loss as he's now processing the truth, as the adrenaline is wearing off. A now somber Aaron says,
I should have realized. Of course this would happen.
a helpless Bertold is also next to Aaron.
Still, trusting your plan was the only choice I had. But why?
Aaron's eyes tear up a bit.
Armin, why don't you ever run?
We hear nearby noise coming from a neighboring rooftop not too far as we see the cart titan with a damaged Zeke on its back. They just stare at Aaron for the moment. As Aaron notices them, Aaron says,
"A Titan!"
Zeke stares at Aaron with a look of surprise. The card Titan now begins rushing towards Aaron as the Titan hops onto different rooftops. Aaron quickly reacts by placing his blade to Bertold's throat. The card Titan stops. And now, Aaron stares into the face of the Titan and Zeke. Aaron warns,
"Just try and come closer. Make one move to take him, and I'll slit his throat."
Aaron aggressively stares with his intense green eyes and wonders.
Hold on.
Aaron notices something familiar on Zeke.
Those markings around his eyes. Are they what I think? This must be the Beast Titan.
Meanwhile, Zeke stares back at Aaron with a look of shock and relief.
I found you. Aaron Yeager. Right.
But Aaron isn't playing games, as he continues to warn.
If nothing else, I'll take him with me.
Aaron actually draws blood from Bertold's throat. But Zeke continues to observe.
You don't look a thing like your father.
Aaron gasps as he now questions Zeke's motives. Zeke continues.
Believe me, Aaron. I get it. I know how you feel. The both of us are just victims of your father. I'm sorry, but he's brainwashed you.
Aaron briefly notices an eerie similarity in the eyes with the glasses. A curious Aaron asks,
What are you talking about?
But then Zeke becomes worried as he notices something on top of the wall. That something is actually someone who is covered with steaming Titan blood. Captain Levi has returned after finishing off Zeke's pure Titans, and Zeke reacts.
You're kidding? He chased me all this way? What a monster.
Levi looks to be in some sort of hypnotic state, only looking for vengeance. Levi slides down the wall to continue his chase of the Beast Titan. Zeke has other plans.
Let's call it a draw, Levi. We're in no shape to fight now. Bertold, I'm sorry, but this is the end for you. Aaron, someday, I'll come back and save you from this.
Aaron is now confused, watching Zeke and the card Titan escape.
Oh, he ran?
Levi lands on the same rooftop as Aaron.
Captain!
A frantic Levi tells Aaron.
I just used the last of my gas. Quick, give me your gear so I can chase him.
Aaron quickly agrees as he begins to take off his ODM gear, and Levi yells at Aaron to hurry. But then, Armin's burnt body actually coughs. Aaron stops everything he's doing and slowly turns back to look at Armin with a look of disbelief. Okay,
Wow.
well,
All right. Okay, so this moment
starting to get heavy.
is the moment where we get Zeke and Aaron's introduction. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off from the top real quick. Josh just say, if only Zeke leaped off and touched Aaron right there. Man, can you imagine that?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That would have been devastation right there.
Ooh, I think he knew too. I think he was just like, okay, let's...
Kyron says, how do you like your Armin?
Well done.
Josh says, Zeke's first truthful comment. Okay, so let's begin with Aaron's reaction. It's very different from how things ended in last week's episode, which we covered. And we understand that Aaron means business when he went ahead and he finished off the Colossal Titan once he was able to go ahead and remove Bertold from that body.
Yeah.
Right. We even talked about it, the three of us, you, me, and Zach, how Aaron at that moment wasn't playing with his food. He wasn't just kind of relishing in this moment of doing something heroic. Finally, like you even mentioned, Lex, like this was his way to go ahead and kind of atone for the beginning.
Yeah.
The Colossal's arrival, and also the Colossal arriving, like you mentioned, over in
like their first real real mission
over in Trost.
Yeah.
And we understand Aaron was very motivated then, while other characters like Connie froze.
Mm-hmm. Sasha and
other
Connie
ones
were
involved.
Very,
and then
and then you have, unfortunately they're not with us anymore, but like Thomas and Mina and like no one was acting.
Yeah.
Except for Aaron. Aaron knew like I need to do something.
Went ahead.
He's the reason my mom died.
Yeah. climbed up to the top of the wall, went after the colossal titan. They even had a brief little moment of kind of like a stare down.
Yeah.
And then the moment Eren tries to go ahead and what he thinks is going to be some sort of, just devastating, strike, the colossal titan vanishes. And so now here we are, full circle. Eren's able to go ahead and finally put an end to this colossal titan, Berthold's colossal titan. Again, Eren was at that point still very much serious. Even when he sees Armin, like he kind of like was reflecting, but he wasn't in the state here where now, as we start this episode, like we mentioned here, the adrenaline has worn off, and now he realizes what actually happened, and now he's starting to become emotional with losing Armin.
Yeah, because he just realizes, like, I should have known better, but I trusted him. I trusted his plan.
Trusted his plan. He even, like he said,
even like Armin said, even if it wasn't the whole truth, Armin said, I'll let go before things get too bad.
Yeah. I
mean, technically he did. He's still alive, but he should have let go a little earlier.
Yeah.
Even just like 2 seconds earlier would have been much better.
And we don't know how that would have changed the course of everything,
Yeah,
maybe
true.
Literally he needed to go ahead and wait on as long as he could.
Yeah.
We don't know. But again, like you just said here, that Eren realized that is the only choice that he had, was to follow through and trust that plan. But again, something he says here is a moment where we ended last week's episode off with that memory of their first introduction, Armin and Eren, and that is him now here in this episode. Eren saying, Armin, why don't you ever run? Obviously, Armin explains that he doesn't lose because he doesn't run.
Yeah.
Right? And this is just kind of a little bit of a callback. But now, the cart titan.
Yeah.
Right? We understand the cart titan saved Zeke from, getting...
Yeah.
Being dealt with by Levi.
Yeah. And at this point in the story, we have no idea what the cart titan is. We just think, there's this like 4-legged quadruped thing, and then that is
Irvin is the one. Irvin is the one that speculated that it has knowledge.
It's been doing reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Which we now know that that's true.
Yeah.
And we know that ugly looking titan is actually a beautiful girl.
I know.
It's actually a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But at this point, we have no idea.
Yeah, real quick over in chat, Kyron says Attack Titan versus Monkey Titan, who's winning? That's a tough question. At this point in the story where the characters are, we can all agree that Zeke would win. But if we're talking about how things play out towards the end, I think Eren's going to go ahead and get that.
Because Josh says if there's space between them, then Zeke. But if it's close quarters, then Eren.
Okay. Joshua said that's what makes a hero, win or not, as long as you don't run. Yeah, again, what we talked about with Armin.
Yeah.
Which I believe Josh also earlier said that he voted for Armin. Again, we couldn't go wrong with any of those, those choices for who you thought was a hero.
I guess you could rationalize, any of them really.
Yeah. But so the card titan is there. We see a damaged Zeke, damaged as in like obviously he's missing his limbs.
Yeah, he just kind of got chopped up by Levi.
Yeah.
And only barely survived by getting picked up by Peak.
By Peak. Yeah. Who we don't know is Peak at this moment. But Peak is there. She saves Zeke. And Eren, he just goes and he, like you said, he just sees his Titan. So he's just like a Titan,
Yeah.
He's very surprised.
Like, what is that? Don't know if it's a Titan user. Don't know if it's just a Titan that Zeke is controlling.
Yeah.
Don't know.
And at this point, Eren doesn't even know the extent of what this person even had. For all we know, maybe he didn't even see the person on the back. But as soon as the cart Titan gets closer and it tries to go ahead and at this point, we can go ahead and kind of theorize that they're going to try to save Berthold.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe not. Maybe he
Coming
sees
up
Eren
just to
there.
See what's going on is like, maybe we could just take Eren now.
Yeah. But then we get that moment. Finally, face to face, Zeke and Eren, which we obviously are aware later on in the line of the story that these are brothers.
Yeah, these are brothers.
And so
you can kind of infer that with what Zeke says to him here, which again is very also changes the story a bit.
Yeah.
With Zeke saying like, "Oh, well, you don't look a thing like your father," and obviously that's taking Eren back. He's like, "What?
Yeah,
why are you saying that to me right now?"
I like the choice of words that Isayama used here by having Zeke referencing Grisha as at least to Aaron, referencing him as your father.
Yeah, your father, not
know?
our. I noticed
Yeah.
that he doesn't say our father. He just says, "Oh, your father has manipulated you."
Yeah, so it's a very kind of nice way of also still being very coy and kind of you know, playing with the viewers a little bit, not fully showing the entire cards, you know, and all that. But yeah, so they're finally face to face. Aaron decides to go ahead and try to do what he can by you know, continuing to use Bertold as a hostage. We understand that he's going to go ahead and try to slit the throat, but is that really going to do anything?
I know.
I don't know.
What is that going to do?
Is that going to go ahead and finally finish off Bertold? I don't think so. But Zeke is more kind of almost in shock that he actually is here face to face with this stepbrother,
Yeah.
right?
Like he's like face to face with he realizes, oh, this is Titan markings. Oh my gosh, this is the beast. This is their first look at the beast Titan, not as a monkey.
Yeah. But also with Zeke, maybe he's thinking, this is who we've been chasing.
Yeah, like this is my
him.
brother.
Maybe he's not necessarily impressed because like, wait, this person we've been chasing is just this kid.
Yeah, this kid.
You know,
This
maybe
little brat.
maybe, you know, he's not even thinking that, right? He obviously is kind of seeing the lack of similarities, right? But he's just kind of in this shock relief where he's like, Zeke says, I found you. And then Aaron, again, not fully understanding where Zeke's coming from. He just thinks they're coming to save
Yeah,
Bertold.
because the whole story has just been, oh, they're coming to take me.
Yeah. So at this point, Aaron is willing to go ahead and sacrifice himself because with his words implying that, saying that,
I'll take
look,
him
if
with
there's nothing else, then I'll just take him with me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that necessarily means death or whatever, but I think that,
it was implied. I think he's bluffing, but
Yeah.
I think it's implied.
yeah. But then we get Zeke's words where he says, you don't look a thing like your father.
Which takes both Aaron and the audience back.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That could be, in a way, a very story-altering line, much like we talked with Aaron Kruger.
Yeah. That one
Referencing
was
Mika's
crazy.
son Armin.
Yeah.
Right? This here, you don't expect the Beast Titan
Yeah.
to know who the hell Aaron's father is.
And to
right?
be he's almost like empathetic towards by saying your father, he's brainwashed you.
Yeah, he tells him exactly. That's the next
And you're
line
like,
he says.
what?
He says
Why is he being empathetic? Like, why is he trying to like read me right now?
Was
What's going
because
on?
he's also explaining to him, saying like that we are both victims. Again, it uses the word of your father. And like you said, he says Aaron's brainwashed. But then Aaron notices something, right? He sees Zeke, and then he sees something that I don't necessarily see in terms of similarities, but there's a moment where there is a blend. Whereas Aaron looks, he sees the glasses, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, Zeke's face kind of blends to Grisha's face.
Yeah.
And he's
It's like, what?
you know?
You're related to him?
And then Aaron at that point becomes very shocked. He's
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Right? But then Aaron, upon inspection, right, he notices the markings, like you said, right? The markings on the face. At that point, he's piecing things together. Like you said, he's like, wow, that's the Beast Titan, right? Which that also has to be a crazy revelation of like he's the person
Yeah.
who has
like,
been
that's
doing
him.
like
This is the guy that has killed like 90% of our troops that
Yeah.
came out here today.
yeah. But then Zeke, hold on, let me see, make sure I don't go ahead and get ahead of myself here. But yeah, he notices the markings, right? He sees his Beast Titan, and then he sees a similarity between, you know, Zeke and his father. And then Zeke, before he can even act, before the Cart Titan can even act,
Yeah.
Zeke notices something. Zeke notices someone, right? And
He
I
sees,
love
Levi.
this. I love this Levi that we see.
Yeah, he's like unhinged, numb, very like seeing red.
Yeah.
Just like basically just moving on autopilot.
Yeah.
Like not letting himself rest.
Like here we explain it as like looks like he's in this kind of like hypnotic state
Yeah.
where there's only one thing on his mind, which we even see once Levi gets to Aaron after, of course, the Cart Titan and Zeke escape. And of course, we should go ahead and mention that Zeke, before he leaves, he tells Aaron that Well, I love that Zeke refers to Levi as the monster, right? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, dude, relax. Zeke, before he leaves, says, let's call it a draw, right?
Yeah.
And he essentially tells Bertold, look, this is it for you.
Yeah.
Right? But then the important word here that he says to Eren, the important sentence here, I should say, is that he says, I will come back and save you from this.
Yeah.
Which, again, that is also...
Like, what do you mean?
That's also, like, story altering. Like,
yeah, because your original thinking is, oh, they're trying to take me to use the power for their own, whatever. They're trying to take me. Versus now you have Zeke saying, I'm going to save you. Like, from what? Yeah. What do you save me from? What's so, the grass is so green on the other side. What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, it's as a viewer, you're kind of now like, any questions you hope get answered, you're like, wait, now I have more questions. Like, what the hell is going on, right? The epitome
of AttackOnTitan. And Josh says, a pathetic man still haunted by his dead father, which is what Eren tells Zeke, and it fits him so well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially because we see it here. And I also want to add that when I was watching people reacting to it for the first time, people were theorizing, like, maybe he's like some kind of like half-brother or maybe an uncle or like, again, it wasn't, people were trying to figure out, like, he's related to Eren somehow, but how? And what does this mean?
They're trying to connect the dots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly our first reaction to watching it.
I can't either. I think we were just taking everything. We were like, Armin's alive!
Yeah, we probably were just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Like, what does that mean? What are you talking about?
What's going on?
What's going on with Grisha?
But then obviously, the
But
excitement.
now that we know everything that we know, obviously, we're like, whoa, that's such a big deal.
Yeah.
But then we were like, okay, but like you think so small in the early seasons because you're like, all we have is parody and let's just get Armin back and let's make sure that Rhina is still like handicap and make sure that let's just kill, trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Because things were so simple then, right?
Yeah,
As if those are just simple things.
As if those are simple things. But in the grand scheme of Attack on Titan, that is simpler than, every memory of every founding Titan and Attack Titan ever.
So anyways, Zeke decides to go ahead and escape because he doesn't want to have to deal with Levi again because, again, he sees Levi in this very terrifying form. Yeah. He refers to Levi as a monster, as we stated. And then once Zeke escapes with the card Titan, Levi, he rendezvous with Eren, and we see Levi in a state that I haven't seen him really in. And he's very frantic. He tells Eren to like, quick, give me your gear. I ran out of gas.
I know, give me
I need to get after him, right?
To chase him. Probably because he's being so frantic because he's like, well, Irvin is dead and I promised him that I would take him out. I promise. So I absolutely need to. Very one-track minded.
Yeah, great point.
Like, I need to avenge Irvin.
Yeah. Now, again, at this point, he believes Irvin is dead.
Or does he?
Yeah. And just like even to that point here, we thought Armin was dead. Right? Yeah. But then
that piece of bacon coughed.
Yeah, literally. Dude. It coughed. And now Eren is just like he's in disbelief, right? And so we'll go ahead and we'll continue on to that point at some point in the story. But is there anything else we want to go ahead and kind of reflect on, maybe even talk about in terms of this whole kind of dynamic here in this episode?
That's all I wanted to talk about it for this part.
Okay. Very cool. So let's continue then, right, Lex?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and narrate this next point.
Okay.
We continue as we see Hanji with Rhina's severely damaged body. Hanji, sporting a new look, as Hanji covers the left eye with the bandage cloth, asks,
Rhina, what's this metal case we found in your left pocket? Before we close in and chop off your limbs, you hold on. Let me try that again.
Okay. All right. I'll set you up again.
Yeah.
As Hanji covers the left eye with her bandage cloth, she asks Rhina,
what's this metal case we found in your left pocket? Before we closed in and chopped off your limbs, you used what strength you had left to grab at it. So what's inside? Suicide pills? A bomb?
We see Mikasa. She's patching up Jean as they both watch closely. A damaged and weak Rhina responds, it's a letter. A curious Hanji now asks,
a letter? What does it say?
Rhina tells Hanji, it's for Krista. Ymir wrote it. Whatever you do with me, just make sure she gets to read it. Hanji stares briefly, then responds,
only after we've inspected it. Now then, I've got a lot of questions that you could answer, but
Hanji then draws a blade and points it directly at Raina. Jean sees this and he shows now this worried emotion.
you're a tough one. If you don't want to talk, I can't make you. So I'll ask. Will you cooperate and tell us everything we want to know?
Raina answers, I won't. A sympathetic Hanji responds.
Thank you, Raina. It helps to see that you're ready for death.
Jean grows even more concerned as he watches Hanji pressing the blade against Raina's throat. Jean even yells out, Hanji, wait! We need him alive so we can steal his power. Hanji stops and looks at Jean as we can hear Commander Irvin's voice in a memory flashback as Irvin explains. Pay close attention. I'm about to explain how we can get maximum value from this syringe. Using its contents, we can steal any Titan's powers. That goes for the Colossal, Armored, and Beast Titans. As for how, we first need to defeat one of these intelligent Titans. Then, we'll inject one of our comrades using them to turn them into a pure Titan. They'll be in that mindless state only for a brief time. Once they've consumed the captured foe, they'll revert into a human, but gain the power to shift forms at will. If this is achieved, then not only will we gain knowledge and a powerful weapon, we'll also be able to bring one of our soldiers back from the brink of death. Should you capture an enemy shifter, be sure to sever their limbs. Once it's safe to do so, try to locate Captain Levi. We see Irvin. He hands Levi the case with the syringe. We have only this one injection. The captain will decide when to use it and on whom. We now return to Hanji, as Hanji tells Jean.
We don't know the situation with Levi on the other side, and we don't have the time to go and confirm it ourselves. These Titan powers have exceeded our understanding too many times. We thought we had him before. I refuse to underestimate his power again. I'll start by beheading him. But that's not enough on its own.
Jean, he processes as he reflects, and he says, This isn't like you, Hanji. If we back down from the chance to cure our ignorance, then what hope do we have of beating the Titans down the road? Raina, he spits up blood from the pressure of the blade that's on his throat, and Jean continues, We need to find out all that we can about the enemy, or we'll lose. Hanji stops.
Mikasa, how much gas do you have left?
Mikasa responds.
Not enough to fight anything. I think I could reach Eren and Armin, but then I'd be out.
Hanji tells Mikasa.
Well, that's more than I have. Fine then, Mikasa. Go and evaluate the situation. Refill your gas, retrieve the syringe from Levi, and bring it back to me. If you're unable to do so, then regardless of the reason, fire off a smoke signal. That will be my cue to end Raina.
Mikasa, ready for her mission, answers.
Understood.
Hanji and Jean watch Mikasa quickly take off. Then, an appreciative Jean says, Thank you, Hanji. But Hanji quickly interrupts Jean to explain.
The decision was mine. You were just a factor.
Jean now wonders to himself, why did I speak up for him? When it comes down to it, am I still... But the scene now aggressively changes to Mikasa, who we see is just at a loss, with tears in her eyes, as we hear a passionately relieved Eren saying, Yeah! Hell yeah! Armin's still breathing! I hear him! Keep going! Don't give up! You can make it! Mikasa, in utter shock, trying to come to grips with reality, asks,
That's Armin?
Armin now aggressively gets the attention of Levi. Captain, get the syringe! Levi starts to get to the syringe out from his pocket. Turn Armin into a Titan, and then we can have him, Bertolt! Hurry up and inject him! Levi, with the case in hand, responds, Right. An emotional Mikasa recalls her mission, and then she sends out a signal to Hanji, signaling with red smoke. Jean and Hanji stare at the signal. But then Jean notices something incoming. Jean yells out to warn Hanji as we see the cart titan quickly running towards Hanji from behind. The cart leaps towards Hanji with its mouth wide open, but Jean quickly reacts without hesitation. Right before the cart titan can bite down, devouring Hanji, Jean comes to rescue, grabbing Hanji just in time. Now Jean and Hanji, they both crash land onto the ground as a confused Hanji says with this blade in her hand,
What the hell?
Hanji stares at the cart titan with determination, ready to defend, but then notices something. Hanji notices that the cart titan has Rhina safely in its mouth. The cart titan now attempts to escape. Connie yells out, "They're running away with Rhina? What now? Shit!" Connie attempts to chase, but quickly, Hanji orders Connie.
Connie, don't chase them.
Connie reluctantly stops.
Chances are you just get killed, even if you had gas left.
A frustrated John yells out, "Son of a bitch! This is all my fault! He'd be dead! He needed to die! Why'd I open my mouth?" Hanji repeats to Jean.
I told you the decision was mine. Let's regroup with the others.
And now as we go back to Captain Levi, we see him again with this case, the syringe that he's about to hand to Aaron. But before Levi can commit to handing it to Aaron, he stops because he notices someone's arrival. Captain Levi notices Flock. Flock can be seen hanging onto the side of the roof, climbing onto the roof with someone strapped to his back. An exhausted Flock tells the captain, "Levi, Captain, I finally found you. It's the commander. He's hurt. His stomach is gouged and his insides are all torn to shreds. The blood just won't stop. I thought that injection might be able to help him, but what do you think?" To be continued.
And this is the moment that every reaction video I saw was like, "No, what do we do?" And so many different reactions to it. It's like Armin or Irvin or da-da-da. And we're going to get way more into that in the next week.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
Oh my
please.
Goodness gracious. Oh.
Because me and AJ can recount how we reacted to the deliberation. But let's just go back to the whole Rhina thing and Jean feeling guilty and trying to battle with, like, do I still see him as a friend?
Yeah.
Am I still like favoring, like having some kind of bias towards him because I see him as, do I still see him as a friend and I don't realize it because I told Hanji to wait? Although it is true, more knowledge is always better, especially in a war. It's better to keep him alive for more knowledge, and also it's a Titan user. Killing him it's very hard.
Yeah.
And also, like, maybe then you could decide which Titan Armin could get. Theoretically, he could get both, you know? But then, Flock, what timing. He has such great timing.
Exactly.
He shows up. And I am very impressed with Flock, though, to be able to carry just a limp Irvin, like, up a roof all this way.
Yeah.
No wonder he's exhausted. I am impressed with Flock here, though. I will give
We have to give Flock his flowers a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. He was able to go ahead and do what he can to go ahead and
he gets a couple flowers, I guess.
Yeah. And we don't see the moment where he goes and he encounters the commander and he notices that he's alive. We don't see
he's
that.
Still breathing. We don't realize that.
But again, Lexi started off with Jean and his reactions to Hanji and his reactions to, him getting frustrated with himself. But talking about giving flowers, like, we gave Jean his flowers because the moment that Connie and Sasha, they both hesitated with initially trying to stop Rhina, Jean was the one that enforced and instilled the mindset of, like, we have to do it, guys. We said we would do it.
We said we would when the time comes down to it, and this is the time.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
And now he's at a point where
he's like reflecting.
But I also think he's trying to do what he was explained on handling the situation, which is why we get that kind of flashback memory of Irvin explaining. And in this moment, Irvin is
Yeah.
there with his kind of squad leaders by his side. He has the casing with the syringe in hand. He's explaining to like they're in a classroom. He's
Yeah.
explaining to this class of scouts, class of the new recruits, and he's telling them what to do.
We have one syringe.
Right. And so in this moment here, Jean is trying to go ahead and really think logically and like, look, this is what we need to do, Hanji. Whereas with Hanji, she wants to put an end to it. Now, I'm not going to say whether one person is right or the other, right? Because of how things played out. Now, obviously, you can go ahead and say like, damn it, John, like if you guys just would have let Hanji go out there and try to
would've
end
let
things with
kill
Rhina,
him, but-
Rhina wouldn't be a factor going into season 4,
Yeah.
right? And
But
who
also,
knows?
we would have had no idea that. Again, we had no idea that there was the cart Titan was going to come up and
Yeah,
and
there's no
save him.
idea. We
There was no way to plan for that.
We don't even know what's happening with Levi. We don't know what's happening with the other scouts involved. We don't know that Armin right now is
Yeah.
currently in this state. There's
'cause
so much
even
unknown.
Hanji says herself, like, I don't know what's going on with Levi on that side. Mikasa, go figure it out.
Yeah. And again, to the point of like trying to finish off Rhina and doing it in this specific manner and not allowing Rhina to survive. Obviously, Rhina ultimately does. Now, if
Looking
Rhina
very
didn't,
handsome Squidward with a blindfold.
yeah. Now, if Rhina didn't, how would that have changed the story? With
Yeah.
Rhina was a factor in trying to help finish off Eren. Now, if you don't have the armor titan there in that moment, like I don't know if they're successful in trying to go
Yeah,
out there and end, the founding titan Eren.
Yeah, I don't think that.
So there's a lot of different ways you can go ahead and kind of
So
just
many hypotheticals.
just really kind of go ahead and theorize with if Rhina died in this moment, how does that change the story? Now, with Jean here again, I understand Jean is going to go ahead and reflect, and he's going to be very, very down on himself because the cart titan saved Rhina, right? But he also saved Hanji.
Yeah.
This was a moment here where we see now that there is no hesitation in Jean. Jean didn't hesitate. But before in the past, he could have very easily just frozen and be like, Hanji, look out! And not do anything.
Yeah.
No, he went ahead and he acted. Now,
Yeah.
where the hell is Connie's on a rooftop?
I know. Why
Connie didn't go out
why
there.
isn't he
Is he trying to be
doing that?
supportive here? He's doing a shitty job of being a support.
I know he's not seeing
You know?
there's a Titan coming or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I mean-
in rewatching this made me think that about. I mean, obviously, it's very hard to pick and choose what I'm about to say, but for that suicide charge, what if is Zeke gonna tell the difference? Is there's maybe like three scouts missing in that charge?
Yeah.
And they
Don't know.
just have to pick and choose who it is. Maybe they'll choose Marlowe, Flock, another name. And maybe they'll choose just 3 to stay back. And I was thinking, if we just had like 3 surviving, again, I don't know how they would have gotten to the point of where everyone is at now. Again, like Hanji doesn't know what's going on with Levi. Like we don't know what's going on with everyone else. But if we just had those for like a lookout, I mean, that's I
tell
guess
you.
what Connie's job is supposed to be. Connie and Sasha, I don't know what the heck they're
Well,
doing.
Sasha, remember, she's injured because of the
right,
debris.
she got hit with shrapnel.
Yeah.
Or debris, yeah.
Yeah, but let me go ahead and tell you this though, that would cause a whole other argument and conversation because then they're gonna be like,
how do you make a decision? Like, why do they get to do
yeah,
it?
exactly.
Why do they?
Why does Flock get to stay back? Why does Marlo get to stay
But
back?
it's in the
And
script.
I think that Marlo wouldn't stay back. Marlo, he
He'd be like,
seems
"I'm
very
gonna fight."
stubborn with wanting to go ahead and make a difference.
Flock would stay back.
That he
But
would
I
go.
think
Flock would
Marlo
stay back. But it's one of those things
I
where
would
like
love to keep Marlo longer, though.
it'd be nice to go ahead
Much potential.
and have, like you said, that support team to be able to go ahead and who knows what could have happened, blah, 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 But that would have stirred a whole other
Yeah.
kind of just deliberation that again, that's a whole
Because then
other
people would
reason.
have been like, oh, no, then Irvin should stay back. But, Irvin would be like, no, I'm going to charge with you guys. And
Yeah.
then a whole nother thing.
Yeah, that's a whole other crazy just can of worms there.
But I was just thinking about hypotheticals and theoretical. But you're right. I totally forgot. Connie is literally there. Why
Yeah.
isn't he looking for
Now-
this quadruped titan that's charging on over?
I guess the only thing I can rationalize is that maybe Connie's focused on Sasha and
That's what I was
attending to her, right? Because we understand there that we saw in the first initial part of the episode that we decided to go ahead and talk about, Mikasa, she is patching up Jean.
Yeah.
Now, I would imagine that Connie's probably doing the same with Sasha, and obviously
Yeah,
Sasha,
but obviously
she
her wounds
requires more attention.
Yeah.
And for all we know, maybe Hanji's the one who told Connie to go ahead and focus on
Yeah,
Sasha.
like make sure
maybe
Sasha's good.
She's aware that, or maybe they saw right? That Rhina's still alive. We understand Connie and Sasha have a soft spot for Rhina. Maybe Hanji even was like, look, you guys, or Connie, you focus on
Yeah,
Sasha, knowing
that's
that
true.
Connie was going to struggle with what she's about to do,
Maybe.
right? Now, Jean, obviously, he's struggling with it because, again, he's thinking logically with what he was ordered to go ahead and do.
Yeah. Think
and
we need him alive because we could use his power. Or,
Yeah.
More information. Like we need him.
Yeah. But Hanji makes it clear after they make the decision, right, to go ahead and send Mikasa to see what is happening, to
Yeah.
see if Levi is there, to retrieve the syringe, to bring it to Hanji so she can go ahead and use it. Now, let me ask you, is she going to go ahead and take it upon herself to turn into the pure Titan to eat?
Yeah, I don't know what
How would this have
her
gone out?
decision was.
Yeah. Who is becoming the armored Titan? Is Hanji becoming an armored Titan?
That would be insane. That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think
How would that have changed things going forward with the
She
story?
was hoping to get more information from Mikasa if she was to come back with the syringe, be like, okay, what's going on Levi's side?
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't play out that way.
No.
Because even like in the meeting, obviously Irvin, the words that Irvin uses is, we can bring a comrade back from the brink of death.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So-
obviously at this point here, Hanji, she's very much alive, right? Anybody over in that
It's like,
situation.
I'm missing
there-
an eye.
Yeah. Like anybody there in.
Sasha has a little wound.
Yeah. So like, exactly. Nobody's on the brink of death. And so I guess it wouldn't make sense for one of them to go ahead and use the Titan, right? And I guess, like you said, if Mikasa comes back, say the Car Titan doesn't get involved, they decide to go ahead and just take off, head back to Marley because they saw Levi. They don't go ahead and kind of survey the rest of Shiganshina,
Yeah.
right, and see Rhina. Yeah, I mean, if they just left, Mikasa could very well just go ahead and return, right?
Yeah.
Not to say that she would, because we understand that now they're going to have a deliberation of their own.
Yeah.
Right?
Like now there's two very valuable characters on the brink of death.
Yeah.
And you have one syringe.
Yeah.
Which, do we know, can you use half and half? Do you need to use a
I don't
whole
know. I
syringe?
mean, obviously, we're not
Rod
going to
Rice
take.
got a lick and a drop.
Yeah. Now we're not going to go ahead.
Falco got a drop. Like,
True.
but
Now,
we don't know that specifics.
We can't take Irvin's words, as, the truth
law.
and whatnot and stuff. Yeah, as law.
Because again, they don't know a whole lot about
But he
how
essentially
Titans
says
work.
that, I'm trying to find.
Kind of just says like we have one syringe.
Trying to get the maximum value, which I would think would be trying to spread out the syringe, but
Using its contents to steal.
they'll be in that mindless state once they consume the
We'll
over.
inject one of our comrades.
Okay. Well, why not give it a shot to go ahead
I know.
and
Why wouldn't you try to do half and half, man?
yeah. I don't think it's an absolute one.
But I mean, I guess at this point we don't have a whole lot of info with it because again, we don't have the whole. Oh, Rod Rice just got a lick. Not thinking about that because
Yeah.
we didn't really necessarily see. No one really saw that happen exactly.
Yeah.
And then obviously in the future, Falco just gets a drop of wine and it turns him.
I guess the fear could be if they decide to go ahead and split the serum in any ways.
Yeah,
That if
it
they
won't
screw
work for
up,
either.
if they screw up and it doesn't work, then they're shit
done.
out of luck.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do.
Or even if they were like, what did Kenny say to Levi? He said, yeah, I was going to inject myself, but what if I did it wrong and ended up all weird like Rod Rice?
Yeah.
So maybe that was another thing where he was like, oh, I guess there's a wrong way to do it. So let's just use one entire syringe on one person to secure at least one life.
And then, not to say Falco's a great example, but Rod Rice is a little bit of an outlier, a little bit, or he's a little different in terms of just consuming a drop because he's a royal family member.
True. Yeah.
So that, I mean, who knows? Again, we don't know.
We don't know the laws of spinal fluid.
But for all we know, if let's say Mikasa was able to go ahead and explain to Levi that they have Rhina captured,
yeah.
right? Why don't we try to go ahead and use both?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, why don't we use both for one person?
And again, Mikasa, she realizes Armin's body, right? He's very much on the brink of death.
Yeah. That's
and-
why obviously Aaron is such like he's breathing quickly. Give me it.
He
And then
literally is like,
obviously-
hell yeah.
Yeah.
But
like trying to be like, dude, give me the syringe now. And you have Levi just like,
he's like, you're right.
Yeah, let me just, time. He's like, hold on a second. He's like, I just took on like 12 Titans.
Let me
Hold
make
on.
sure I still have it.
I know.
But if Mikasa was able to go ahead and explain to Levi that they have Rhina, maybe we can use both. Who knows? Maybe that wouldn't have factored into anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's we can only speculate as to how things would have played out if they did this. It doesn't matter at this point because Zeke was retrieved by Peak.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Rhina. Oh yeah, Zeke was retrieved by Peak, and then Rhina was retrieved by Peak. And
Yeah. Did I say Zeke?
yeah.
My bad. Rhina.
I mean, technically, you're not wrong. He
Yeah.
was.
Rhina was retrieved by
Handsome
Peak.
Squidward him.
Do you think, kind of speculating here, do you think that Levi would have protected Zeke all that time? Because remember, he went ahead and he retrieved Zeke.
Oh yeah, to save him for like.
He mentioned about finding someone. I guess now I'm kind of spiraling here because if he held on to Zeke, right, and he kept them, he would have encountered Flock.
Yeah.
And he would have used a syringe on Irvin.
Yeah.
Which means Irvin would have become the Beast Titan, which then we talked about last week. He would have been
what kind of beast he would be.
the bald eagle Titan
eagle,
form.
Lion.
Yeah.
The bald eagle lion horse.
He would be what do they call a griffin?
Yeah, a griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, a griffin.
That'd be badass. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh
a
my
horse
god,
body,
blend both.
but flying.
Yeah.
With a
That'd be
eagle.
badass. Hell yeah.
I could see Irvin being that. If anyone's gonna be something cool like that, it's Irvin.
Yeah, it'd be Irvin. But then that
Also-
means you can't bring back Armin because they had already used it.
Yeah.
You know? So again, there's so many different
'Cause
factors.
There's a whole
involved.
deliberation that we'll probably have a 4-hour podcast next week
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask, do we know whose spinal fluid this is in the syringe?
I would imagine that this
Because
is
this is a case that we got from Rod Rice.
from Rod
right?
Rice's case. Yeah. So
We don't know whose spinal fluid it is.
no, don't know if this is something that they've had kind of.
Yeah, is this like old
Locked up.
old fluid?
Is this
Does it
No.
expire?
his daughter's fluid? Is this?
I know.
Is his brother's fluid? Does this go back even further than that?
Yeah.
We don't know. If is it a requirement that once you take on the power that you have to, again now add to the freaking.
I know. Add to the you
Yeah.
add to the arsenal of syringes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but that's a good question as far as.
Yeah, we don't know
who's-
whose fluid this is.
Yeah.
but it's someone's fluid.
Someone's fluid indeed. I don't think it's Rod Rice because it seems like he wants to
didn't
stay
have
away
time
from
to do that.
all of that stuff.
Yeah, by the time he became a Titan, he was just slugging along the open plain.
Yeah. But
Yeah, we don't
so,
know who's because it couldn't be any of the warriors because the Rod Rice family was still on.
Yeah, they
Parity.
were over on Parity. They were.
So maybe it was oh God, I'm forgetting her name.
Frida.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's Frida's.
It could have been Frida. Yeah.
But Frida wasn't a Titan for long though.
Yeah.
Before Grisha.
Udi was a Titan for the.
Oh, maybe it's Udi's.
yeah.
Maybe.
He was a Titan for a
Because he
while.
was a Titan for pretty much the entirety.
Yeah, he was in Titan for the entirety.
He was a Titan for all 13 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it is Udi's because Frida wasn't a Titan for very long.
And we know that there
Or
was
got
there was
taken.
multiple because
Yeah. Because it's been getting passed down in family.
there was multiple because there was the one that they were going to use on Krista. That one shattered. That one, obviously Rod Rice went ahead and got a lick of it.
Yeah.
And then they have now this extra one. So, who knows how many there
Yeah,
was
how many
over
they
in.
have.
Now, it would have been.
It would have been very nice to have two.
Yeah.
But, whatever I get.
Or even having the time to be able to go ahead and kind of, work in the lab a little bit and stuff. I'm sure Hanji would have, kind of done a few tests to see if they can go ahead and maybe duplicate.
Yeah.
Don't know. And
But
if,
again, we're on anime time. Like, this seems like it's been going on for a long time. No, this is like one day.
yeah.
All this is happening in the span of like 3 hours.
Yep. And
But anime timing makes it seem like it's like years, but it's not. It's hours.
yeah, so
Yeah.
John obviously is very upset with himself, but Hanji, again, being a leader, tells him that this was my decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't take any of the blame. You were merely just a factor in it, but it was my decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Again, she takes that blame too. It was like, oh, we guess we should have just killed him. Da, da. Like I said, it was my decision. I'm to blame for this.
Yeah. And we get a description from Flock as to Commander Irvin's injuries, and they sound absolutely devastating.
Yeah, because we saw that he just got like a chunk ripped out of his like lower left side.
Yeah, it said that his stomach is gouged, his insides are torn to shreds, and the blood won't stop. Yeah.
But he's still alive somehow.
So
Again.
somehow holding on.
Anime. Somehow Armin and Irvin are still alive.
Yeah. So obviously now we have a decision that these characters are going to have to go ahead and deliberate on.
Yeah.
For anybody that's any of us that know how this plays out, we obviously know what the decision is going to be.
Yeah.
And I would love to, of course, go out there and find out from all of you. Once you saw this and you were watching this for the first time, who did you want? Who do you want to save? That'd be really, really cool to go ahead and kind of talk about.
Especially because we're going to be going over it specifically. So then we can talk about that and then be like, okay, so in this moment.
Yeah, exactly. Very quickly, I want to talk about this letter. This letter that I believe you're excited for in the coming episodes.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, Reina he's protecting this letter. Now, this is something that obviously it caught Hanji by surprise because Reina was trying to go ahead
he, like, reached
and
for it when
he was trying
on the
to
brink of death.
Exactly.
So it's like, what's so important? Suicide pills? A bomb? No, it's a letter.
The bomb's already taken care of. The bomb was the
I
Colossal
know.
Titan.
We
and
don't
that
need a bomb.
Almost took Hanji out.
Yeah. Before
So-
I'm sure you're excited to see that little scene.
Yeah, I'm not. But then, so now Hanji's very curious, wants to know what the letter says, and Reina kind of he just explains it, says, look, it's just for Krista.
Yeah.
Ymir wrote it, and please just make sure that it gets to Krista.
Yeah. Well, after we review it,
Yeah.
make sure there's
Only after we've inspected it. Yeah, that's going to be a very important letter. And that's going to be the moment where Historia realizes that, oh shit, I just thought she was a friend.
Yeah. Like, oh, crap. Okay. So she was in love.
Wow, she really felt that way about me, huh?
I know,
It's a good thing
I
she
had-
didn't come back, because then I was going to have to friend zone her.
I
That would have
know,
been
I
real awkward. Oh, man. I'm not, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean,
into
you're cool.
girls like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Which-
you're cool, I guess.
Not
You're
to say
cool.
that she isn't bi.
Yeah. But
she
again, we have
obviously-
no idea what Chris's sexuality
Yeah,
is.
she's
Or Historia is
she's
sexuality.
into farmers. If that is who is the father, I'm kidding,
I
man.
know.
Spiral into a whole different.
And a whole nother thing. Again, we've talked about this
Come
a
on,
lot.
that has to be Aaron's kid. Aaron's
Yeah,
not
the
going to go ahead.
eyebrows
He's not
are
going to go ahead and
telling.
go about this without having like a little backup. Not a backup, but like having like a little
Some kind of way
legacy.
to further his legacy.
Yeah, we're talking about
And there's
legacy
no
here,
way
people.
there's no way that a kid is born with that thick of eyebrows and not have it be a message, not have it be a thing.
There's no way that we don't get Aaron's death and the birth of this child happening at the same time.
Yeah.
No way.
Like literally like Mikasa carrying his head and then it transitions to
Historia carrying her baby.
There's no way that was an accident. There's no accidents in Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Everything is purposeful.
I still don't think that you can kill the Titan by just freaking slicing their throat.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a
Now, Hanji said she was going to decapitate him, which I think that works. That's almost like also
Yeah.
the nape. I mean,
unless they transfer their consciousness or whatever the heck
oh yeah, that
that's
whole
going
strange
on.
thing. But then they're
You're
going
just
to
gonna have to grind them up.
Then they're going to have that weird extension cord, right? Where like the spirit of the thing.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah, and they're like kill it.
yeah, little thing, the little worm.
Yeah, I think that I'm blocking Lexi's camera. when
yeah,
I did that.
you've done it
I've done it a few
quite a
times
bit
now.
today,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
You know what? Hey, we get passionate here, guys, when we talk
Just
about
a little fourth wall break.
it. Every time I do it, Lexi stares at the cameras.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Very cool, guys. Yeah, I'm excited to go ahead and get to the coming episodes. My goodness gracious. Oh,
Yeah.
man. We're going to have our own good
Yeah.
deliberations, of course.
Tune in next week, guys. Next week is a very, very drama-filled, tense.
Yeah. something Josh mentioned.
Hypotheticals
Josh
situation.
mentioned in chat about Midnight Sun being such a tense episode, right? So much emotion, and
Yeah.
I'm excited and nervous for us to go ahead and try to bring that tense discussions to life.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be fun, but also
and
very
hear everyone else's
terrifying
responses.
to go ahead and voice the characters and try to express the same emotions that they're feeling. That'll be very, very interesting for sure.
Exciting.
But all right, what do you think, Lex? Do you think we can get to a closer? Do you have any other thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts for this part.
Okay. We'll save them for next week. So that means that wraps up another episode, guys, of Attack to Talk podcast. This is season 3 of our episode breakdown and discussions. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us live. Everybody in chat that joined us, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. It's always fun doing these episodes live with you guys. Remember, guys, that we will be streaming live next week, of course.
Yeah.
We'll be streaming live on Sundays. And if anything changes, make sure you guys follow us over on Instagram at Attack to Talk Podcast. Thank you so much, Josh, for the kind words. We love you too, my friend. And we love all of you guys that really support
love you
us.
too, man.
And the support just, again, means the world to us. And, I go through every single episode just being so thankful and make sure you guys know what you guys mean to me. And you guys mean a lot. So get your updates over on the Instagram. Check the Instagram on the bio, of course, as we say, is the link tree. Check out the link tree, guys. Do we have any updates, Lex, over on
Fandomion?
No? All right, guys. So if you guys are interested over in some spending and you guys want to go and get some anime merch or just merch in general for just stuff Marvel
Literally
related,
anything.
DC related, anything related, check it out over at Fandomion. The link is in the link tree. Click the link and it'll take you to their online store. And then, hey, if you see something you like, you can go ahead and start preparing to go ahead and purchase that order. But before you purchase that order, make sure you use that promo code. Promo code is LEX. Okay, promo code LEX for 10% off for you guys' order. All right, guys. So again, just in closing, your guys' continuous support just means the world to us. Really. As we said, you guys are all just incredible people. It's so cool to just have this awesome AOT community and have you guys really support us and stuff, And we all just love talking AOT. This is what it is. We're getting to like I said, the meat and potatoes of the story.
Yep.
I just love your guys' insights whenever you guys chime in over live in chat. I love you guys' your guys' responses, your guys' results over in the poll question and the Q&A. And remember, look out for those over on. We try to put those out on Fridays and Saturdays. I will say that poll question is currently active right now,
Yeah.
so we can go ahead and sway the votes.
We do a little check.
Any updates? I'm checking the updates.
It has changed at all.
Yeah, let's see.
Because it's still up for, I think, for another.
Like
Another
what, like
3
3 hours or so?
Okay.
Yeah.
A tiny change.
Tiny change.
We got one more vote
Okay.
for Armin.
Does that bump him to second?
No. It's still 20% Irvin, 24% Armin, 27% Aaron, and 29%.
Oh, it's so close.
Yeah.
Wow.
So close.
All right, guys. Get your votes in for Armin. I'm kidding.
I know. Vote for Armin. No, vote for whatever you feel.
Yeah. Vote for whatever you feel. And again,
Yeah.
we're so thankful for you guys' responses and all that. And yeah, it's always fun to go ahead and talk
Your
about the Q&A and
DMs
poll.
and stuff, and yeah.
All right, guys. Fun episode. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. And we'll be back next week. We'll go ahead and we'll come up with a time. It'll be on Sunday. And yeah, we'll continue on with this awesome story, guys. We love you guys so much. Shout out to the loyal ones. Shout out to the Attack to Talk Levi squad. You guys are incredible. Shout out to anybody who is listening live with us, and to anybody that is listening to the episode at a later time when we publish the episodes.
Thank you.
Huge thank you to all of you, because
Thank
again,
you.
anytime you guys go ahead and support us and listen to us, you guys are taking the time out of your guys' life and out of your guys' days, and we understand that life is something that is it can be really busy, So just huge thanks to you guys. And we love you guys so much. In closing, as I say every single podcast episode, just please, guys, just stay safe out there. Whatever it is that you guys are doing, whether it's work, be safe. And just in life in general, guys, just try to be positive-minded people. Just be thankful for each day that we get, and try to just be, some sort of kind of shining beacon of hope for anybody out there. You never know who might need it. And if anybody who's kind of in a little bit of a, tough part of life, just remember, guys, that you'll get through it. You'll get through whatever it is you're going through. There's people that care about you guys. You guys know that we care about you guys. And you guys will get through it. And we will see you guys next week. We love you guys so much. This is AJ's closing and saying that we love and we hate. Cliche but true. And we hope that you guys have a really great week. A really good, productive week.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm out of here. What do you got to say, Lex?
I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of self-reflection. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. So a little bit of self-reflection there, guys. Bye. Stay safe, guys.